Now yield 3 minutes to the gentleman from New Jersey, a very distinguished member of both the Budget and Ways and Means Committee and a member of the Ukrainian caucus, Mr. Pascrell.
The gentleman from New Jersey is recognized for 3 minutes.
Thank you, gentlemen, and I thank both Mr. Engel and Mr. Chris Smith for leading us through what are important things for us to contemplate, because what's applicable to Ukraine is applicable to a lot of places in this world. So I'm a proud co-sponsor and a strong supporter of H.R. 447. It expresses our solidarity with the Ukrainian people and affirms their right to choose their own future. In this room, not that many years ago, we brought in the Prime Minister. Many of us had these flags, the colors of the Ukraine country. Mass protests have broken out in Ukraine following Yanukovych's decision in November to back away from negotiations for closer integration with Europe. So Russia has their fingers here. Their fingers in all of this. Beware. There was an agreement which had been supported by millions of Ukrainians in the Ukraine and around the world. We've known about the violence. We've known about the detainment because the folks just expressed their legitimate dissatisfaction with Yanukovych's government. However, the current crisis in Ukraine has deeper roots. Almost a decade ago, the Orange Revolution led to the annulment of a fraudulent election, which would have brought Viktor Yanukovych to power. In the wake of protests and civil disobedience on a massive scale, the Ukrainian people instead chose President Viktor Yushchenko and Prime Minister Yulia Tymoshenko. She's in jail. She's in jail right now as we speak, still. Now the democratic gains made as a result of that Orange Revolution are at risk. Viktor Yanukovych has gained the presidency, and former Prime Minister Tymoshenko, as I said, is still in jail. The use of force to suppress open expression by political opponents or popular protests can never be tolerated in a free and democratic society. And those within the Ukrainian government who authorized these brutal crackdowns should be held accountable for their egregious abuse of power. There has been a strong outpouring of support for the protesters from the large and active Ukrainian American community, many of whom live in my district, the 9th Congressional District of New Jersey. Ukrainian Americans deeply desire a solution to this crisis.
Time has expired.
One more minute.
Yield the gentleman an additional minute.
The gentleman's yielded an additional minute. You're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Ukrainian Americans deeply desire a solution to the crisis which respects the fundamental rights of their sisters and brothers in Ukraine to free speech, free press, and peaceful assembly. It is my sincere hope that the United States can facilitate a peaceful resolution to the crisis in Ukraine, which respects the will of the Ukrainian people and brings justice to those who have been harmed through wrongful arrest and violence. As we saw in Syria, crackdown on violent protests can lead to an all-out civil war, and we still do not do what we should be doing with those refugees from Syria. That is a disgrace. We need to act now to help the people of Ukraine before the violence escalates further. I urge my colleagues to join this vital show of support from the American people to the people of Ukraine. And thank you. And I thank Mr. Engel and I thank Mr. Smith.
Time has expired.
For their eloquence. Thank you, Madam Speaker.